Yo, man, what a morning. Yo. Sorry, we're late. There was some weird tech stuff I was having to work through this morning. I think I got it sorted, so hopefully we'll be good, man. But yeah, I do apologize. I was trying to get everything running this morning, and there was just a bit of wonkiness, so I ended up having to kind of restart everything and get it all booted back up. And I think we're good. I think we're good. We'll see. It looks good now, so hopefully we'll be all right moving forward. Happy Sunday, happy weekend. Hope everybody's weekend's going very well. We've got day 13 ahead of us. We got the day 13 of Breath of the Wild ahead of us. We got the final Divine Beast taken care of yesterday. Yep, that was good stuff. And I don't know. We're gonna start doing a little bit of more extreme world exploration and just like kind of item grinding for equipment. Trying to get equipment upgraded, things like that. We're gonna spend a little bit of time seeking out shrines, things like that. We've got the Master Sword that we need to go through that trial. There's an amount of stuff that we're just gonna kind of take our time, have some fun. We got a couple of other towers we need to find to finish uncovering the map, stuff like that. The game's amazing. The fight yesterday, I wasn't really thrilled with. I saw this morning our buddy No Chance had brought up the fact maybe our Z button's not working correctly on one of our Joy-Cons or something. That's possibly a problem. I didn't feel real great about the fight at the end of the day yesterday. The fight within that Divine Beast, the Desert Divine Beast, I'm blanking the name of it right now. It didn't feel good to me. It felt like I could not target that guy. He disappears a lot. He disappears and like zigzags and it's a pretty big arena where he just like teleports, basically. Teleports all over the place. And I was having a really tough time locking back onto him. And No Chance was stating that he's never had that kind of issue with that enemy. And I don't know, maybe it was a me thing. I don't know. Maybe yeah, I think that was the name of it. Yeah. Maybe it was a me thing. Maybe it was a button thing. I don't know. There is absolutely the issue of these Joy-Cons being too small for my hands. I need a pro controller, man. I don't play Switch hardly ever, dude. So that could play a little bit of a part in it. The day before, I definitely got better at how to address the targeting system in the game and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's probably a little bit of a mix of both. I haven't been a huge fan of the targeting system in the game from the get-go. It's a bit awkward for me. But it doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. It's just, for me, it feels a little bit weird. And it's a bit off. It's not just a dedicated targeting of enemies. Like, it's literally you having to, like, hold down a trigger button the entire time you want to target something, which also brings your shield out. It's a weird thing for me. It seems like a weird way to incorporate the targeting system of the game. I don't know. I'm not sure how other people feel about it. It's not the normal targeting system in third-person games for me that I'm used to. So it's taken me a bit to grasp that. But I don't know. The fight yesterday felt weird. We got through it, but it didn't. It was painful for me, I guess. What's up, Jelly? What's up, gamer? I think we'll keep playing. I'll just try to figure out how to get good, I guess, is what it needs to be. You know what I mean? We'll figure it out. But the Divine Beasts are taken care of. That's what matters. We're going to keep pushing. We're going to keep grinding. Again, today won't be a super long stream. We'll go to about noon today. And maybe a little bit longer because of the late start. That way I can focus on some other things in life that I need to get taken care of. But this entire upcoming week, we'll be right back to doing like 9-hour streams every day, okay? On that note, let's get over and take a look at video gaming news. Cool? If you're interested in what we've been listening to this morning, that's the Jams Subnautica soundtrack. That's what we've been listening to. The Subnautica vibes. Yep. Cool. You bought Hades? Hades is amazing. That's what you were talking about. Did a bad thing? Is that what you were talking about, gamer? Sorry, I was just getting ready to address your statement there in chat, dude. So Subnautica is a base building survival game where it's a big world adventure, survival, resource gathering, and management. It's got a pretty good story that goes along with it and stuff like that. Highly recommend. And the soundtrack's pretty amazing as well. So go check it out. Let's get that death counter off of there. Now let's actually go over here and start looking at some new stuff. Hades, dude, Hades is really good. Hades is a really good game. It was one of those games that I enjoyed quite a bit. How many hours did I put in Hades? 60? 60 hours. And it was good, dude. It was really good. Good story. It was really fun, entertaining. So people are pretty jacked up about Hades 2, man. Yeah. So I would say that's probably a pretty solid purchase there, man. Especially if you got it on any kind of sale or anything. But even if not, it's a good game in my opinion. Again, Jelly Duck, what's up? Gamer, what's up? I hope you guys are having a good weekend. Gamer, I hope you're able to relax, dude, and enjoy your day off today, man. $22. Word. Hades 2, man, is what that's a lot of people are jacked about the Hades 2 announcement, man. Could be better. I'm sorry, Jelly, what's wrong? I'm good. I'm a bit sluggish this morning. I thought I'm glad that the tech issues I was having didn't persist. I was able to get them sorted out and get the stream going. Other than having to start up a little bit late and being a bit tired, I'm good, buddy. I'm good. Burn kills, it's better. I'm sorry, man. Gotta get that aloe, bro. You just gotta get a bunch of aloe, put it in a bathtub. You just soak in that bathtub of aloe, you know? Be one with the aloe. Let's see what we got. Don't have a bath? It's cool. Just put it in your plumbing, dude. Just inject it into your plumbing and take a shower. Aloe shower. There you go. It'd be fun. Or buy a kitty tub. Buy a kitty tub and fill it with aloe. You're like, man, sometimes we gotta think outside the box, all right, dude? Okay? Sometimes we just gotta think outside the box in order to get things done. All right, dude. All right. All right, man. Wolf Among Us 2, Telltale Games releases update state. Okay, let's see. They're shopping anyways. Nice, dude. Yo, grab me a kiddie pool and every bottle of aloe vera you can find. They're gonna be like, "What is this guy up to?" Did we already talk about this? Oh, yeah, we already kind of knew this, but we'll talk about it. We haven't talked about it in a while, so we'll take a look. This is so Riot is suing NetEase over an alleged copy of Valorant. Dude, this is this is the world we live in. It's this is not the first time this has happened. Not even close. We've seen a lot of this kind of thing with like League of Legends as well. There are a lot of games that have ripped off League of Legends, and like Riot's gone after those developers as well. But it's not just Riot that's done this. Basically, any game that gets copied too closely will get this kind of you know situation happening. They'll have lawsuits and things like that for copyright infringement, and they'll have to like take their game down or alter it greatly to where it doesn't mimic the game in such a mirrored fashion. But I mean, the thing that's tough about it, like obviously, you can't just go, completely copy somebody else's, you know, work. You just can't do that. But developers try to get away with it all the time. Um, so we'll see what happens, man. It's like I was just talking about the new Kick platform the other day. That is kind of Kick.com. We were talking about in the news the other day. That is supposed to be this new. I'm gonna air quote this rival to Twitch. Dude, they ripped off Twitch's platform. It looks exactly like it. Now, as far as like how the content creator side of that platform goes, I have no idea. Is it as intuitive? Does it feel as good? No idea. But the initial look at that site looks exactly like Twitch does. And I mean that's what companies do. That's what people do. They copy things, and I think the key thing is like you have to find ways to make it different enough that you can't be sued over it for it being a legitimate, considered to be a copy of the game or the software or whatever that's being copied. But we'll see what comes of that. They were there to witness the burn. Did they burn you? One of PlayStation's best exclusives confirmed for Steam. We'll take a look. I'm just kidding. They better not have Jelly Duck. We'll get them, dude. Yeah, we know Elden Ring has several more things in the way that was announced at the Game Awards. I'm not going to dive into it. Hogwarts Legacy fans excited over confirmed feature. Let's see what this is. It was the people sitting across from. They didn't burn you on purpose, right? They didn't burn you on purpose, did they? PS4 players slam PlayStation over controversial decision. Fortnite maker sued by parents saying kids are addicted. What? Slam Epic Games with lawsuit. Are you kidding me, dude? Possibly. We don't get along. Wait, you're not sure if they burnt. Wait. Dude, that is the stupidest lawsuit ever. But look, this is the world we live in. This is the world we live in. We're going to talk about this. I'll talk about this in depth, but bro, you might as well go, you know, I'm going to, for anybody that drinks, so I'm suing, uh, you know, Coca-Cola because I'm addicted to Diet Coke, or it's like a whatever. Everybody's got their dude. I'm gonna sue the coffee industry because I'm addicted to caffeine from coffee. All right, I can't quit drinking coffee. I'm gonna sue the coffee industry. Get wrecked. Okay, I'm gonna sue Folgers. Okay, that's literally the same thing as what this is. Whose fault is it these kids got? Like, dude, grow a set. If your kids are playing too much Fortnite and they're not taking care of the other things they're supposed to be doing, which is what I'm guessing is going on here, and you're having an issue with this, then grow a set, be a parent, and cut your kids off from their games. All right? Until they take care of their responsibilities. All right? I don't know. We'll read about this, but that's absolutely insane. And I hope that the parents actually, I mean, just off of the initial impression here, we'll read about this, but off the initial impression, I hope these parents have to pay all the court costs and everything, and Epic doesn't have anything come of this, to be honest. That's ridiculous. Uh-oh, Elden Ring's no longer 2022's best-selling game. Oh no, what's happening in the world? Ah! My face might be melting. Switch makes best game of 2022 lowest price. All right, we'll take a look. Yeah, we already knew this was coming. PUBG is hitting the Epic Game Store if you didn't know. So that's going down. Yo, gamer, did you already start playing Hades or what, dude? Elder Scrolls 6 director has some good news for fans. See what's going on there. Fortnite leak reveals some major gameplay changes. This our first search of the day always trips me out. It's funny because you just put in gaming news, you know. So it's like, all right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give you like some pertinent sports stuff, and we're gonna give you some pertinent video game stuff. Right? It's really good. They're like, we're not sure what kind of gaming you're talking about, buddy. Okay, so we're just gonna hook you up with a bit of a good mix. All right, it's actually pretty solid. But then when we put in video gaming news, that's the other search we always pivot to, and it's that it'll just be video gaming stuff. You know, it's nice. I like it. But we see a bunch of like sports stuff in here too. PSVR 2 players may have to pay more for new games. Imagine that. Imagine that. Last of Us Part 1 trailer revealed PC release date. Did we see that? I feel foggy over the last couple of days, man. Did we see the release date for that? We've already hit on this already. The from Nether Realms and MK12 and Justice League, that new iteration of that, or Injustice League, Injustice. What would it be? Is it 2 or 3? Dude, I can't even remember at this point. It's 2 or 3. But I think both of those are kind of on the horizon, and we've kind of talked about the fact that we'll bring it up. Whatever. Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look. I mean, we've got dedicated like release dates for Tekken. We've got dedicated or announcements. Anyways, we've got dedicated announcements for Tekken and Street Fighter 6, and now we have release dates for those things too. And there are a lot of fans of the NetherRealms titles, the Injustice Fighter and MK12. People are like, what are we getting? When are we getting it? And we haven't seen a whole lot. There have been a bit of teases, but nothing substantial. What is this? Yeah, I agree with this. This is what I kind of what I've been saying the whole time. Xbox has always been kind of behind Sony, and that's the way Sony likes it. I'm not going to dive into this article, but this is basically what I've been trying to get across to everybody the whole time. Ultimately, this is a play that Microsoft has, um, you know, figured out a way to kind of get themselves ahead in this competitive industry in gaming, and um, to me, the way this has come off the entire time is like PlayStation just doesn't want it. They don't want to have to find other ways to compete, man. That's what this comes off as. It's they want to say that it's Call of Duty. It's if it wasn't for Call of Duty, this would be fine. But it's Call of Duty, and they're like, well, okay, well, we tried to give you a 10-year deal, you didn't want to take it. Nintendo was like, yeah, we'll take a 10-year deal. You know, but then also, Sony's like, this can't happen. This acquisition can't happen because Call of Duty's too unique. It'll change the dynamic of um, how many people buy our console in a way that basically skews the industry too hard towards Microsoft, and it'll significantly impact our business. And Nintendo doesn't have Call of Duty; they're doing just fine. It's like, is it a unique title? Is it a very? I mean, is it obviously going to change some things? Yeah, but there are ways to survive. You've got to do what Xbox has done for years and years and years. It would change the game for Sony. Sony doesn't want the game to change. That's what it is. So who's really being anti-competitive here? You know what I mean? Um, Xbox is continuing to try to find ways to get themselves in good positions and to move forward, be inventive, progress in the industry, and Sony doesn't like it. Is basically what's happening. Oh god, dude. Armored Core. Dude, I hope this game's good. This will be a day one probably for me. I'm just so scared of From Software's PC ports. We don't really need to dive into that. We've seen enough of the stuff that came out. All this is like a wrap of what we already saw from the Game Awards, and we did a summary of the Game Awards the day after in the news segment. So honestly, there's no point in diving into that. But dude, this is the game that I'm hyped about the most coming out of the Game Awards. Pokemon Leaker teases Scarlet and Violet DLC. How about they just fix the game first? Vampire Survivors primed to dominate the mobile market. That game's probably going to do very well on mobile. Probably. Wait, what? We saw this well. Judas, I'm not going to dive into that. Yeah, creators of Bioshock, but that was a reveal at the Game Awards, so we've seen it. I'm not going to dive into it. Okay, I think that's enough. That's enough. Let's dive in here. Let's see what we got. Pokemon Leaker teases Scarlet and Violet DLC. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC teases have seemingly begun via a prominent Pokemon leaker who has proven cryptic but reliable in the past. Unfortunately, the first DLC tease is a very broad one. Friend got you cookies. Sick. That's awesome. GG's. That's great. Nice. Um, Using a Twitter poll, the leaker seems to tease the DLC will star one of the following four characters: Heath, Gita, another professor, or a new character entirely. This is the extent of the tease, which has yet to be followed up at the moment of this writing. For those that don't know, Heath is the author of the Scarlet Book, a historian, and led the Area Zero expedition. Meanwhile, Gita is the chairwoman of the Pokemon League in Paldea, as well as one of the champion-ranked trainers. She's a bit divisive among fans, so she was the star of the DLC. If she was the star of the DLC, it may not go down very well. As you would expect, Game Freak and Nintendo haven't touched this speculation in any capacity, and we don't expect this to change, but if it does, we'll be sure to update the story accordingly. Yeah, take everything in the meantime with a grain of salt, alright? Honestly, they need to be worrying about trying to fix this game before they worry about any kind of DLC stuff. From everything that I've heard, anyways. The Elder Scrolls 6 director has some good news for fans. The director of Elder Scrolls 6, Todd Howard, has some good news for fans of the RPG series looking forward to the next and long-awaited installment. Bethesda Game Studios is currently primarily focused on shipping Starfield next year, but after that, the studio will shift its focus to the Elder Scrolls 6. I think everybody kind of already knew that. Yeah, it's been about a decade since Skyrim. Woo, sorry. Yeah, Howard didn't elaborate on what he meant when he says it changes the way you think about how you architect it from the get-go. Could be a throwaway PR-ish line, but it seems likely. Whatever the case, the quotes above have players more excited than ever to play the next installment in the Elder Scrolls series. Yeah, there's a lot of hype around Elder Scrolls 6. Skyrim was awesome. Yeah, I loved Skyrim. I had a great time in it. I only played Skyrim like on release. Skyrim was one of those games that I played whenever it initially came out on PS3. I played the crap out of that game. I had a great time on it. But there's a lot of stuff that had come out since then. I just haven't ever gotten the itch, I guess, to dive back in there and feel it again. I don't know, but people love Skyrim, and there's a lot of hype around Elder Scrolls 6. So everybody knows that they're Todd Howard and Bethesda. They're not focused entirely on Elder Scrolls 6 right now. They're trying to finish up Starfield and once that's all finalized and the game is released, then obviously they're going to be tunnel visioned in on getting Elder Scrolls 6 finished. So, Gabs, what's up, friendo? But I mean, one of the things for anybody that is hyped up about Elder Scrolls 6, I would not plan on seeing this game until about 2025. That is like water cooler talk. They're saying it's probably got roughly another 2 to 3 years before it's going to come out. I don't know. That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. That's what I've read. So if you think it's going to be coming out like next year, or even 2024, I wouldn't really hold your breath. Elder Scrolls 6, we're talking, is probably, 2025, even 2026 timeline, Gabs, what's up? How's your weekend going? What's going on? Fortnite leak reveals some major gameplay changes. A new Fortnite leak has revealed some movement mechanics coming to the game in the future, presumably sometime during Chapter 4, and if the leak is accurate, it could spell some massive changes to the flow and meta of the free-to-play Battle Royale game. The leak comes in the way of HypeX, the most prominent of many Fortnite data miners, all of which have been digging through the files of the game's Chapter 4 update, which in turn has revealed a variety of things Epic Games is working on for Chapter 4 and beyond. Taking to Twitter, HypeX relayed word of 3 different movement mechanics currently not in the game, but in the game's files that are actively being updated. First of 3 mechanics is wall running, which is self-explanatory. Second is jump slide. It's less obvious what this could be. Obviously, it would involve a jump and a slide, but how this would actually look isn't obvious. The third is a final mechanic. Third and final mechanic is a double jump, which, like wall running, needs no explanation. Any of these mechanics would likely shake up the meta of the game substantially. All 3 together could potentially make it feel like a far more vertical and fast-moving game. Yeah, again, this is not like confirmation that all of these or any of these are in fact going to be implemented in the future, but apparently there's enough of a reason that they're being talked about, and it's quite possible that these end up being part of the gameplay moving forward. So be ready for the potential implementation of these, I guess. Wow. PlayStation VR 2 players may have to pay for more for new games. Yo, man. Uh, you're gonna have to. It's gonna be at the point here before long. You're gonna have to be a pretty wealthy individual to be able to be a gamer, man, a modern gamer. Beginning of November, Sony dropped the bombshell that PlayStation VR 2 will cost 600 euros or $550 US. Those who want to buy the device in a bundle with flagship game Horizon Call of the Mountain will have to pay 650 euros or $600 US. That's more than the PS5 even costs, right? PS5, which powers the high-end headset, will cost another 450 euros or $400 US. That's for the non-optical version as well, if you didn't know. If you can even get the device at that price given the ongoing supply shortages. Oh, I'm good, Gabs. Thanks for asking. I'm a bit sluggish this morning, a bit tired, but other than that, I'm good, man. How about you? At about $1,000, the costs for the console and headset are relatively high when compared to cheaper alternatives like MetaQuest 2 and Pico 4. In return, PlayStation VR 2 offers more modern technology and VR games that could make the standalone headset look old in terms of graphics and scope. Oh, you got home from the museum visit. How was it? I'd forgotten you were going to go do that. You will probably have to pay more for the VR games in Sony's store than on other VR platforms like the MetaQuest store and Steam. Even though it is too early to make a final judgment, a look at the EU PlayStation Store shows that Sony's VR platform could become the most expensive, at least on average. So far, 14 titles are listed on the PlayStation Store, and 11 of them have received a price tag. 8 of the 14 VR games are already available for MetaQuest and Steam. Check it out. Cosmonius High. 36 euros on PlayStation, 30 euros on Meta Store, and 25 on Steam. Demio, 40 euros on PlayStation Store, 30 euros on Meta Store, and 25 on Steam. Tentacular, 25 across the board. TWS 40 across. Yeah, yeah. Does look like PlayStation's a little bit more expensive in certain areas. Yeah, Cosmonia's High, Demio, and Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge cost 5 to 15 euros more in the PlayStation Store than in the MetaQuest Store. First two are also available on Steam, where they are even cheaper than in the MetaQuest Store. PSVR 2 buyers will have to dig deep into their pockets. The following 6 PSVR 2 games have not yet been released on other VR platforms: Horizon Call of the Mountain, The Dark Picture Switchback VR, Hello Neighbor Search and Rescue, The Light Brigade, Firewall Ultra, and Crossfire Sierra Squad. Those entering the PSVR 2 hardware ecosystem may have to dig deeper into their pockets for the software as well. That would not be a big surprise because VR games for the PlayStation VR 2 were also pricier on average than on other VR platforms. Because VR games for the first PlayStation VR I think that's what they meant. Because VR games for the first PlayStation VR were also pricier on average than on other VR platforms. Normal games have also been more expensive for PlayStation gamers for some time. And also, no backwards compatibility for the PlayStation VR 2, meaning that if you did invest in PlayStation VR, the first iteration, and you have a library of games for that, and you did want to get into PlayStation VR 2, you can't play the old PlayStation VR games on the new PlayStation VR 2 headset because PlayStation sucks that way. So, yeah, I don't know, dude. Look, I'm not a fan of Meta either. You know, I'm not gonna buy a Meta headset just because I don't want to support that company either. But they're not wrong. I mean, that Meta makes a quality VR headset. They really do. And I mean, that's about all I can say for that company, really. But I don't know, man. Is it? There are gonna be some people that buy into this. Some people are gonna think this is worth. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, if you're a PlayStation gamer only, then this is gonna be your go-to, right? But for anybody that is a a gamer that does a variety of gaming on different platforms, this doesn't seem like the play. It just doesn't seem like the play. PlayStation's not good with backwards compatibility. They're more expensive across the board. Both their hardware is going to be more expensive than you can find other hardware. Their software seems to be more expensive. But you know, the thing that Sony does is they play that game of exclusivity, right? So they've got some exclusive titles that they're trying to bring people in with. And this is the game they've played forever, but I don't think it's gonna last too long for them, really. I mean, I think this is the game they've done forever. That's why they've said they'll never, release their exclusive PlayStation titles on game or on their subscription service and stuff. But I think it's inevitable that it ends up happening, because I just think that the industry is changing too much for them to not have to change with it. I don't think it's going to be anytime like soon, but eventually they're going to have to change. They're going to have to conform to the way that the industry is moving forward, and I think that that's really in my perception of the way that the industry is evolving. It's kind of inevitable in the way I see it, if they want to remain competitive with the way Xbox has been doing things. But we'll see. Time will tell. I don't know. It was so beautiful, so cold outside. Ooh, yeah. Nice, Gabs. Oh, inside was a bit boring. Hmm. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. It was good to see you. Yeah. Maybe we'll see you later. Lucky, I'm not a fan of VR. Yeah, I mean, VR is such a cool concept, man. But it just needs to be done well. And it's still, it hasn't quite evolved as fast as I think a lot of people thought it would. Just been left at home alone with my 5-year-old sister. God hates me. I'm sure your sister looks up to you, you know? I'm sure your sister looks up to you. And I would say just try to. literally, literally, and metaphorically. Metaphorically was what I was going for, but yeah, you probably literally as well. Um, yeah, so just sorry you got stuck with the responsibility and everything, but you got this. Yeah, you got this, Jelly. Yeah. The Last of Us Part 1 trailer reveals PC release date. The Last of Us Part 1 is coming to PC in the new year. The Last of Us is one of the most beloved games of the last decade and defined the PS3 generation. Even the PS4 generation, thanks to its remaster. It helped elevate Naughty Dog to another level after the studio had immense success on games like Uncharted. The game was praised for its emotional story, brutal gameplay, and incredible performances. In the eyes of many, it was a killer app for PlayStation. It was one of the sole reasons to purchase the PlayStation console, given it was so good and exclusive to the platform. However, in recent years, Sony has begun bringing its games to PC. Kind of. And as it so happens, one of the best PlayStation games is coming to PC very soon. At the Game Awards, it was confirmed that The Last of Us Part 1 will release on PC on March 3rd of 2023. Yeah, no more specific details about the PC version. So we'll have to wait and see exactly how optimized it'll be for PC. But there you go. Last of Us Part 1. When did it release? Yeah, I mean, this is what I've been talking about with Sony as well. Or like it's for forever and ever. It's been like if a Sony game was going to come to PC, it was going to be roughly like 4 to 5 years after it released. Because they're not good about bringing their proprietary PlayStation only games to other platforms. Now they've got PlayStation PC, but they've also said, look, don't expect day one releases on PC either. It'll happen about a year after. So we'll see how it goes moving forward and how quickly they're going to be getting those games actually put on PC after released on PlayStation. We'll see. We'll see. But, here's The Last of Us that's finally going to get a PC port for those that are interested, in March 3rd. Mortal Kombat and Injustice creator teases when next game will be revealed. Mortal Kombat and Injustice creator Ed Boon has given fans a window on when to expect NetherRealm's next game. NetherRealm is responsible for creating some of the most well-respected fighting games, particularly in the West. There are, of course, other fighting games like Street Fighter and Soul Calibur, which are fantastic. Mortal Kombat and Injustice put a spin on the genre in a fun and exciting way. Mortal Kombat is obviously just overly violent and incredibly brutal, making it a chaotic and bloody experience. Injustice adapts that formula in a slightly more accessible way, but does it with DC heroes as they get turned against each other. They're incredibly awesome franchises, and fans want to see more. Yeah. Haven't seen a new NetherRealm game since 2019. Fans are eager to see whether it's a new Injustice game or a new Mortal Kombat, or perhaps the long-awaited Marvel vs. DC fighting game. Many hope to see a reveal at the Game Awards, but no such reveal transpired. A fan asked Ed Boon on Twitter if we could expect a reveal in the next 6 months, and he said it's likely. This could place a reveal sometime in the spring or even at E3. Okay, look, guys, look. Don't put stock in that. E3 has been vocal once again about going, we are having an event this year, for sure. That's what they've said the past 3 years. Okay, so E3 has been really good about over the past 3 years going, yep, we're having our event again, and then canceling it right before it happens. So this is what I would say to you. If you know what E3 is, don't take this for when articles refer to E3 right now, don't take this as actual E3 conference. Take this as E3 meaning a summer games showcase by developers and publishers kind of presenting their own kind of showcases, usually through streams and stuff like that. E3 has kind of died. They have come back out again after it got canceled this year and said, we're definitely having one next year. That's the same thing they've done in the past. So don't put stock in the fact that E3 is in fact going to happen this year. It's been canceled the past 3 years. They've done the same thing in the past. And I have no faith that E3 is going to happen this year either. And I think the fact of the matter is, a lot of developers and publishers have found that they don't necessarily need E3 anymore. They can get things done without them. So, even if E3 comes back, I don't think that it'll be the exact same, tech/gaming convention that it once was. But I am just going to go not E3, but basically summer showcases, okay? So this could place a reveal sometime in the spring or even at summer game showcases, which usually take place in June, roughly about the end of the first week to the second week of June, okay? It's about 7 months away. Either way, we still don't have any idea what the game is, but the important thing is that we will definitely be learning more very soon. NetherRealm is also good about revealing its games and quickly releasing them, so we could see it possibly releasing in summer or fall of 2023. Yeah, right now we just got to wait, speculate, and see when Ed Boon finally decides to let us know what's happening there. Yeah. Again, I think it's kind of, we can expect something fairly soon, right? We can expect something fairly soon. With Street Fighter 6 having a release date of, what I think, is it May 6th, June 6th? I can't remember. Street Fighter 6 is coming out in the summer of 2023. Tekken 8 is coming out in 2023. Mortal Kombat, NetherRealms is needing to, because that's their competition. That's their main competition, right? Notable fighting games in the gaming industry are coming out with their next iteration of game in 2023. And whether NetherRealm and Ed Boon are going to be releasing Injustice's next iteration or Mortal Kombat's, one way or another, they've got to get it ramping up because their competition is on the ball, right? So you would expect them to be trying to get something pushed out fairly soon. Elden Ring, no longer 2022's best-selling game. Top spot is now Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I don't think that's a surprise. Yep, I don't think that's a surprise. Basically, every new Call of Duty that comes out takes that cake, So, they have numbers here. Yeah, so that's about the gist of that. Nintendo Switch makes best game of 2022, lowest price ever. The Nintendo Switch version of Portal Companion Collection is rated as the highest rated game of the year according to Metacritic, and it's currently on sale. The game just came to Nintendo Switch back in June, so the discount isn't too heavy. This is the cheapest it's been on Nintendo Switch yet. For a limited time, the game is 33% off, which means rather than $20, it's roughly $13.50. For those that don't know, Portal Companion Collection contains Portal 1 and 2, which are some of the best games ever made. That's going to be relative, but they are very, very highly rated and highly regarded games in the gaming industry. No doubt about it. So, not clear how long this deal will be available. In other words, by the time you're reading this, it may have expired. It's a limited time offer that's now been available for a few days. If you're interested, go grab the Portal Collection, okay? Takes that cake and eats it too. We be chomping on that cake, baby. What's up, Wick? What you doing, dude? This is what I'll say. If those would be very good games on the Switch, but those games go on sale because those are Valve games. Portal games are, and by proxy, those games are the Valve's platform, Steam. If you play on PC as well, you can usually get those games at a pretty good price on Steam. Like when were they doing that? There was like a Valve game bundle during the Black Friday time, I think, the end of November. It was like $6. You got like every game ever made by Valve. That included Portal 1 and Portal 2, stuff like that. Heard it here first? That's not what I said. Scorn is, dude. Scorn is. Yeah. The best game ever. Scorn and Little Nightmares too. You're such a troll, dude. What's up, man? So there it is. It's in chat if you guys are interested, though. Those would be cool games for the Switch. One of the PlayStation's best exclusives confirmed for Steam Deck. Let's see. Oh, yeah. So we just talked about this. Last of Us Part 1 is going to arrive on PC on March 3rd. And it appears that it's going to be the game will indeed support the Steam Deck. Cool. So that's a bit of extra news there. If you're grabbing it on PC and on Steam and you have a Steam Deck, then apparently that game is going to be Steam Deck verified on release. So there's an option for you. Hogwarts Legacy fans excited over confirmed feature. Hogwarts Legacy has confirmed a small but important feature that has many players excited. In many third-person action games, a simple feature is often excluded due to the animation work that it requires and how it can clash with world and level design. That feature is jumping. Thankfully, Hogwarts Legacy hasn't excluded the feature. Whether jumping will play into the gameplay, we don't know, but players can do it. Confirmation comes away with the game's official Twitter account, and in the replies are many excited fans. Some fans have criticized the actual animation of the feature, but for the most part, players seem happy to know they will be able to jump in the game. All right. I mean, of all the things coming out of a, Harry Potter game for people to be excited about, I didn't expect jumping to be the play. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I just snorted a little bit, dude. I'm so tired this morning, man. I don't know what's going on. I just I'm getting excited for the smallest crap. For real, I don't care. Why does a simple jump make me? I don't even why. Like I didn't expect it to be jumping. I will say this though, jumping in games is important. I will say this. What was there have been games recently that I've played where it felt like you should be able to jump. And when you play a game where you feel like you should be able to jump a little bit at least and you can't at all. Sorry, excuse me. It feels really dumb. It feels really dumb when you're in those kinds of games and you're just like stuck to the ground. And it's like, but why? Why? Why can I not jump? Like jumping is actually pretty important. It was just like the title of this, Hogwarts Legacy fans excited over confirmed feature. I wasn't expecting it to be jumping, But hey, man, cool. PS4 players slam PlayStation over controversial decision. Many PS4 players aren't very happy with PlayStation at the moment following a controversial decision from the latter that came to the surface this week. Almost 2023 and the PS5 has entered its third year on the market. Many assumed PS4 support would be borderline non-existent at this point, but this hasn't been the case. Not only do many games continue to come to the PS4, but many games from PlayStation itself. For example, God of War Ragnarok just released on both PS4 and PS5. Meanwhile, earlier this year, Horizon Forbidden West did the same. It's the latter that is at the heart of the controversy. Horizon Forbidden West is getting an expansion by the name of Burning Shores. Unlike the base game that was released earlier this year on PS4, the expansion is only coming to PS5. Dude. CDPR is doing the same thing. CDPR is doing the same thing to Cyberpunk. And I don't understand. I don't understand this play from developers. This is an asshole play from developers. This doesn't make any sense. Don't do this. Don't do this. So unlike the base game that was released earlier this year for both PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, the expansion is only coming to PS5. Why? Well, Guerrilla Games doesn't say much beyond a broad statement noting due to the grand vision of the game, it has made the difficult decision to focus all its efforts on making an incredible experience exclusively for the PlayStation 5 console. As you would expect, many PlayStation fans aren't impressed with the news or explanation. That's literally like the same kind of crappy, default, stupid quote that CDPR put out about their expansion as well. People that are commenting that Burning Shores on PS5 is as it should be are hopefully joking. If the main game was on PS5 only, I'd understand. Absolutely. You can also play Horizon Forbidden West on PS4, so the choice of making the DLC a PS5 exclusive is wrong. I agree. The Horizon Forbidden West is my personal game of the year, writes another Twitter user. To find out that Burning Shores DLC will be on PS5 only when the base game was for both PS4 and PS5 is disappointing. Some people just cannot afford to get a PS5. Exactly. Denying people who played on one console the chance to play the DLC just for profit. Great. Yeah. It's hard to imagine the DLC can't run on a PS4. In fact, it almost certainly can. However, the effort of getting it on PS4 may just not be worth the investment, or at least that's the conclusion PlayStation and Guerrilla Games presumably drew after looking at sales data for the game on PS4 and comparing it to the cost of getting the DLC on the machine. That said, and as always, feel free to leave a comment. Look, here's the deal. Whatever, dude. You know what I mean? Whatever the case may be, all right? That's probably a big part of it, Jelly. Working with Sony being like, let's try to get more people buying the console. That still sucks, and this is the same thing that CDPR is doing with their Cyberpunk DLC. And whenever Cyberpunk, what was it, about September, I think, August or September, Cyberpunk came out. I think it was September. Came out with their big announcements for their as a developer, with new Witcher games being in development, and their Edge Runner series on Netflix. And along with that, it was the announcement that they've got a huge expansion coming for Cyberpunk this coming year, right? And quoted from CDPR as, this is going to make Cyberpunk into the game or the experience that everybody should have been able to experience from the get-go. This is what Cyberpunk was meant. It was something along those lines. This is what Cyberpunk was meant to be, how it was meant to be experienced by everybody fully, And then they go, oh yeah, but you'll only be able to play it on new-gen consoles. Wait, what? Because it's this same exact situation. CDPR released Cyberpunk on previous gen and new gen consoles. And then they're going to go, wait, this is some game-changing expansion right here, okay? But you can only play it if you're on new gen consoles. That's crap. That's crap. And that's one of those reasons I was talking about CDPR the other day, I think to Happy Chef about this. And that's one of those reasons why I probably won't be playing too many. It's that along with some other stuff about CDPR that makes me not really care to play too many of their games moving forward. I'll probably sit back and watch CDPR for a while. I feel like that's a very, very, very low blow kind of move to a lot of fans. We talk about how much of an obstacle, price is in the gaming industry nowadays. And, I've had a lot of people argue, yeah, but what CDPR did was they said that anybody that owned the game on previous gen console would get a free version on new gen console. Okay. Are they also going to fork over all the money for those people to go buy a new gen console? Because not everybody has money to just go buy a new console simply to play the expansion for the game they already own on the previous gen. That doesn't make sense, dude. And this is just another example of a developer doing a crappy job of keeping the fan base at the forefront of their, their development process. This feels terrible. I hate this, man. So much. And you're not wrong, Jelly. Not wrong. I think that's probably part of it. It's inevitable, right? That at some point, old gen consoles phase out. But if you're releasing a game for a previous gen console and a new gen console at the same time, the content that releases moving forward should be available for both. Nice, Jelly, nice. Parents who say their kids won't eat or shower because they're addicted to Fortnite slam Epic Games with lawsuit. Yeah. This makes sense. Yeah. So when I brought this article up, I already kind of said, I'm going to read through this. The stupid lawsuit. Well, we're finally going to read about it. Yeah, we're finally going to read about it. I'm guessing this is going to be as absurd as the title leads. Yeah. So we're going to read about this and see, but this sounds absolutely asinine. Yo, Wick, are you still hanging out, dude? Parents are arguing their children experience symptoms of addiction to Fortnite. Canada Supreme Court authorized the class action lawsuit on Wednesday. We plan to fight this in court. We believe the evidence will show that this case is meritless, Epic Games said in a statement. Yeah. A Canadian Supreme Court judge authorized a lawsuit against Fortnite's manufacturer filed by Quebec parents who say their children became addicted to the video game. I can't even take this seriously. In July, 3 parents told Justice Sylvain Lucier their children appear to be severely dependent on Fortnite and stopped eating, sleeping, and showering as a result. You are not parenting if that is the case. Are you flipping kidding me? Lucier's Wednesday ruling determined the class action suit wasn't frivolous or manifestly ill-founded. Court concludes, I don't sleep out of choice. The court concludes that there is a serious issue to be argued, supported by sufficient and specific allegations as to the existence of risks or even dangers arising from the use of Fortnite. Oh my God, dude. An attorney from the firm that brought the suit equated the games maker Epic Games to a tobacco manufacturer in an interview and said the legal responsibility was basically the same. Our motion was heavily inspired by the tobacco motion just in terms of what we were alleging. Lawyer Alessandra Esposito Chartrand said, according to the Global News Report, Lucier echoed the comparison of video game tobacco addictions. The harmful effect of tobacco was not recognized or admitted overnight. However, the court didn't agree that with the parents' claim that Epic Games deliberately made Fortnite addicted. Bro, I can't. Dude, I can't. The court finds there is no evidence for these allegations of the deliberate creation of an addictive game, the judge wrote. This does not exclude the possibility that the game is in fact addictive and that its designer and distributor are presumed to know it. Epic Games denied the validity of the suit in a statement obtained by BBC. Parents can receive playtime reports that track the amount of time their children play each week and require parental permission before purchases are made. We plan to fight this in court. Believe that evidence will show that this case is meritless. Yeah. Look, dude. These are some... Yeah, that's all I can assume. It's all I can assume is that these are some crap parents, dude. I mean, look, anything in life can, there are all kinds of things in life that can put you into what would be considered, you could become addicted to stuff, right? It doesn't matter, dude. It can be substances, whether it be nicotine or, actual, like what a lot of people would consider drugs, like opiates or what have you, that are very addictive to human beings, or caffeine or sugar or video games or even things like sex, man. You know what I mean? Anything can become an addiction if you don't know how to consume things in moderation in your life, right? Gambling, it doesn't matter. There are all kinds of things in life that can become an addiction. There are people that are addicted to working, workaholics, so it's exactly, Jelly, exactly. So it's about understanding how to use moderation in your day-to-day life and leisure time, work time, it doesn't matter, dude. Yeah, it's about moderation and consuming things and knowing, what your limit is so that it doesn't consume your day-to-day life and you're able to keep functioning. And that's what a parent's job is, to teach your kids how to incorporate moderation into your life as these kids are growing up and becoming adults so that, they can live a good, normal, functioning life. It doesn't mean they might not deal with some kind of addiction as you get older, because we're humans, dude, and that's the way things work, right? But what are you talking about, dude? That how did these kids get to the point of where these parents are now considering their kids addicted to Fortnite in the first place? It's your fault. You didn't set any kind of like limits for them for like screen time or how much time they could play or anything like that. You didn't have any kind of oversight in the first place. You were probably just sitting them in front of a computer or a screen all every day instead of actually checking up on them. Yeah, exactly, Jelly. Checking up on them and having oversight as to what they're doing and what they're into. You're like, oh, I've got things I need to do. Go, here's a screen. Check this out. Do this, And I get it. Adults have busy lives. You don't always, have consistent time to be, like monitoring absolutely everything your children do at all times, right? But to let it get to this point where you're trying to blame a developer for your kids being addicted, it's your job from the get-go to make sure that you're taking care of your kids. Not that Fortnite's not making them addicted to, or that Epic's not making them addicted to the software that is absolutely absurd, man. I think it could be. Look, here's the thing. Again, I think quite often when you think about, like, it's a difficult thing to address, because we're talking about situations where quite often parents are, and I like to give the benefit of the doubt here, right? Because there are a lot of parents out there, there are a lot of families out there that struggle with things like money situations, stuff like that. Maybe it's a single parent home, stuff like that. They're doing the best they can to raise the kids or what have you, and quite often they're just not around. They're working multiple jobs. There are always those kinds of situations where they do the very best they can, but they can't maintain as much oversight and monitoring of the kids as they would like to do. So there's going to be those kinds of situations too, right? I'm not tackling this head on in a situation where I assume that every single parent in the world is, living in a situation where it's a multi-parent household and there's always somebody around to monitor and stuff like that, because that's absolutely not the case. You know what I mean? So it's appropriate, and it's important to understand that not every parent is in the same kind of situation in regards to being able to always have how much time they have, and their ability to consistently monitor their children as much as they might even want to. Let's be honest, there are some parents out there that don't give a crap, right? But then there are some parents out there that are busting their asses day to day to try to create the best life they can for their families. It's just they're not around because they're working a lot to try to provide. And so there are a lot of different situations to keep in mind in regards to that situation. But blaming a video game creator for a kid playing games, look, dude, video games by proxy are just fun. And Fortnite's a very fun game to a younger audience. There are a lot of kids that gravitate towards this game, right, Wick? So, Wick, what's your mom think about how much you play this game? You know what I mean? Wick, can you comment, dude? And that's unfair, dude. That's unfair. To go, this software developer is making my kids addicted. Like, come on, man. Let's be a little bit realistic about this situation. You quit projecting things onto a company that's making a video game. I don't know. That's just absolutely absurd. And it's this just goes along. We've seen some absolutely asinine stuff. Video games have been blamed for so much stuff. From the inception of video games, throughout the history of video games, and the evolution, especially of video games, to where they become more and more immersive, but they're just another form of entertainment. There's been all kinds of studies, but they're still constantly blamed for things like being the catalyst behind violence, or there's all kinds of stuff that video games get blamed for. We saw stuff here recently where it was like, you shouldn't let your kids play video games because they can cause heart attacks. It was like, bro, if you have any kind of underlying health issue for something like your heart that hasn't been diagnosed and you're not aware of, and you do anything in life that elevates your heart rate, you're running a risk of potentially dying from it. You could be walking through your house and see a spider. It could freak you out and you're going to die because you have an underlying heart issue. It's not the video game's fault. It's just like that. That's the, You should write your own article. I'm so like, this is the kind of crap that just like freaks me. It gets me so tilted about the blame on video games, you know? So I can't tell you how many times my kids have said, I'm the strictest. You'd read it, Jelly? And the thing is, I'm not a wordsmith, dude. I'll tell you this, I can write better than I can just spit at you guys, you know? Um, but I'm, I'd rather just talk than write. Just like I'd rather play than read, you know? Uh, can't tell you how many times my kids have said, I'm the strictest mom they know because I actually regulate their screen times, keep them on schedules. I guess their friends are just allowed to do whatever. Yeah, I mean, and that's what I'm getting at. I mean, that's kind of the same way we do things here, true. So I have two kids, and they are very regulated. Basically, throughout the week, my kids know that. What's up, True? Good morning. Um, my kids know that their job currently is school, right? Probably not, gamer. All right. Anyways, so we we regulate screen time during the week. While my kids are in school, they know that that's their job, right? That's their job. And if they're not taking care of their job, because the weekends is when screen time starts. Video games, watching shows and movies, what have you, whatever. And so as long as they're taking care of business, they're taking care of their job, they're doing, they're succeeding in what their job is and what they're supposed to be focusing on, which is school, um, then everything's good. And Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, they get to jam out with screen time, you know? And, but if things go south during the week and anything seems off and they've had a rough time or something like that, then those privileges get taken away. So, I mean, that's the way we do things here as well. And I think there are a lot of families and a lot of kids in the world that they don't deal with that. It's like, and I'm not saying one way is either right or wrong necessarily. Everybody's got their own version, their own method of parenting and stuff. And um, I mean, I'm only doing what I find to be the right way to do things, and I'm sure there are going to be certain methods which I've used to raise my kids that I'll look back on and go, maybe I could have done that a little bit better. But ultimately, I think uh, it's kind of like a reward system for us, and it keeps them focused during the week. It doesn't. It gives them a goal to shoot for, and it doesn't let them be distracted by things outside of what their main objective should be right now, which is education. So that's the way we feel about things, and ultimately, there are other ways that obviously we have other standards and you know ways which we are raising our own children on ethics and views and beliefs and things like that we feel are the right way to go about things. And my kids also know that we're doing again the best we can to put them in certain situations, and we have a reason for doing these things, just like with the schooling during the week and only screen time on the weekends during the school year. And they know that whenever they become an adult, it's going to be their job to figure out if they want to keep moving forward with the ways that we have taught them to be raised in life up to that point, or if they feel like maybe it's better to go a different way about things. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But it seems a bit short-sighted to me for parents to be blaming software whenever really it's their job to be at the front lines of regulating that kind of stuff if there's an issue with it. Like, are they trying to stand up to their kids, or are they just like passive about it, going, oh man, they just won't quit playing, you know? They just won't quit playing that game. And, you know, I don't know what to do about it other than sue the developer. Oh man. I mean, that's almost how it comes off, right? Rather than like put their foot down and go, yo, I'm the parent, you're the kid, this is how it's going to go. That's kind of how it comes off, you know? It's random vote time. So, exactly. Yeah, exactly. True. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the way it kind of comes off to me as well. Mm-hmm. Yep. Been quite a roller coaster ride for anyone who's a fan of the game studio Telltale Games. Most people know the studio for creating narrative-based games of popular franchises. Their most famous video game was The Walking Dead, which featured characters like Clementine. Additionally, they've also made games for several big franchises, for example, Batman, Guardians of the Galaxy, Game of Thrones, and Minecraft. However, in 2018, the studio faced numerous difficulties, which eventually led to the studio closing. As a result, the studio's licensed games were stuck in limbo, with Skybound Games eventually releasing The Walking Dead the final season in 2018. However, several other titles haven't been released, including The Wolf Among Us 2, disappointing fans until now. In 2019, the heads of the studio began negotiating with Sherwood partners. Eventually, this led to LCG Entertainment acquiring several Telltale assets. Later that year, LCG announced that they would relaunch Telltale Games with Jamie Odeli, I think, as the CEO and Brian Waddle as CRO. Thankfully, they confirmed that the relaunched game studio would re-release old titles. Additionally, they also confirmed they would be working on making new games with games under the Telltale brand. Sadly, the licenses for The Walking Dead and Stranger Things returned to the original owners, so we won't get new games in these franchises. However, Telltale confirmed that they still had the licenses for Batman and The Wolf Among Us. During the Game Awards of the same year, Telltale announced that The Wolf Among Us 2 was coming. Also, they re-released Batman the Telltale series. Unfortunately, it's been pretty quiet on the new game front since then. However, after this year's Game Awards, Telltale released a statement about the upcoming game. Here's what they said. Wolf Among Us 2 release date. So no new information about the Wolf Among Us 2. Clearly, the Wolf Among Us 2 is a huge priority for the studio and its other titles. Although it was disappointing that we didn't get more news about this game, I'm glad they decided to release the statement. It seems the studio developers are hard at work. Apparently, they'll share more information about the game as they get closer to release. Unfortunately, they also made it clear that we shouldn't expect anything soon, meaning that the game is still way off from release. However, they did mention their return in 2023, so we can expect to get something next year. It may not be The Wolf Among Us 2, but Telltale will likely release something. Currently, the only titles we know about are The Wolf Among Us 2 and The Expanse. However, Telltale may have some other surprise franchises. Naturally, we can expect to hear more about them in the coming months. 2023 will be a big year. We'll see. That's the lead up to every single year, you know. True. That emote. That's like the lead up to every single year, you know. It's like I was talking about this the other day. It's looking like the biggest year in gaming yet. It's set to take place, you know. And it's like, we'll see. You know, there are always big games anticipated. You know, that's what they were saying at the end of 2021. It was like, 2022, biggest year of gaming yet. We're gonna have Elden Ring and Ragnarok, and dude, it was a big year. But now they're saying the same thing about the coming year. you know, in Starfield, things like that. Dude, we'll see. There's always the potential for it, but we'll see what happens. PS1, this is the last article I have, guys. This is the last article, and we'll get into some Breath of the Wild. PS1 Classic reportedly getting remake on PS5. A new rumor about an upcoming PS5 game. Comic book. Comicbook.com kills me. I love it. A new rumor about an upcoming PS5 game rumor. A new rumor about an upcoming PS5 game rumor. You can almost always count on a comicbook.com like weird, weirdly written like article or like a misprint or something. It's become like a game for me. Like every single day in the news, I'll find it on comic. Well, like there'll be a comicbook.com article that's written oddly, or there's like an extra word that shouldn't be in there or something. It's odd, but I like it. We'll have PS1 fans in particular excited if it's true. If you've been paying attention to the PS5 rumor mill the past couple of years, it's a rumor we've heard rumblings of before here and there. More specifically, according to a new rumor, a remake of Metal Gear Solid is in the works, has been in the works for years. Like some previous Scuttlebutt has suggested, they love this word too, Scuttlebutt. I think it's this Tyler Fisher likes Scuttlebutt a lot. Has suggested a remake is a PS5 exclusive. The rumor comes the way of Area Gigones, who relays the information provided by an anonymous source. And beyond confirming the existence of the remake, the source and Area Gigones doesn't say much other than noting the project has apparently been cooking for years, that it's in development exclusively for the PS5. The only other thing of congruence that is said is that the remake could both be announced soon and released soon, which makes sense if it's been in development for a few years. As you may know, remakes typically take less time to make compared to new games of similar scope and ambition because it's just a matter of recreating assets, maybe modernizing aspects of the game. You don't need to write a story, develop characters and a world, or do anything on the creative side really, nor do you have to design levels and missions or anything on the design side. It's largely a technical undertaking. Right now, the language suggests this is just a remake, not a reboot. In other words, it'll be largely the same game but modernized to look and potentially play like a modern game. A reboot is all of this, plus large design and sometimes narrative changes that fundamentally change the game. An example of a remake is 2020's Demon's Souls, An example of a reboot is 2020's Final Fantasy VII Remake. If Metal Gear Solid Remake is in development exclusively for the PS5, you'd assume Bluepoint Games, as Sony's remake specialist, is behind the project. Considering Hideo Kojima and PlayStation continue to work together, it wouldn't be unreasonable to assume Kojima is involved in some creative consultancy role. That said, the rumor doesn't mention Bluepoint Games nor Hideo Kojima. All right. Yeah, we've heard a lot of Metal Gear, this type of stuff, like remake, reboot, remaster. There's been news about, the potential. It's like rumor mill stuff of, Metal Gear coming back, and this is just adding to it. So, we'll see. We'll see what we get. Yeah. Them's the breaks, man. That's the news. We will go ahead and move on to a bit of the gameplay for today. Again, it won't be a super long day. We'll probably go until a little bit after noon and play some more. Today will be day 13 of Breath of the Wild. Yeah, we got all the Guardians taken care of now, so that's good. We're just going to be doing some in-depth exploring, world exploring, a bit of grinding, trying to get some gear upgrades, things of that nature. Get a little bit more of the map uncovered. We have a few more towers, maybe two to three more towers that we need to get, things like that. So that's kind of the play. That's where we're headed. Let's see here. That'll work. So, yeah, I don't know. thanks to everybody that was part of the news segment, and thanks to everybody that's part of this community. As always, you guys rock. Appreciate you very much. And for anybody that is potentially seeing this content as a VOD on our Twitch channel or the YouTube channel, if you're enjoying the content, see what you can do about coming and hanging out with myself and the rest of this amazing community whenever we go live at 6 a.m. CST every single day. We start all of our streams off with video gaming news, and then we move on to whatever video gaming content we have slated for the rest of the day, okay? So, I don't know, other than that, stay healthy, stay safe, be kind to one another, and we'll catch everybody tomorrow for what will be December 12th edition of Video Gaming News and day 14 of Breath of the Wild. Cool?